don't see any pleasantness in your face. Yes, Emil-la, that's the reason why I'm nice. Why don't you try that? Have you ever tried it? But then this person is both pretty, but on gender terms I would say that he's handsome and nice too. Overbearing in his sense of nicety. And he would be attempting a project on the CTN manual, that is project 6. The subject is, there are plenty of them, but for those four-legged creatures, voiceless, dumb creatures, wherein it's more difficult to understand them, but an outstanding man in his field, and a person who motivates the audience by indulging in motivational and successful talks elsewhere. A person who is a passionate speaker, and believe me, he will go a long way over here. I would like to invite his individual director, Dr. Popana, to give us a brief of this project. Early passionate member in Dr. Verma.
In the year 1913, a young man around 20 years took a walking tour in a rural area of a province in South France. Walking tour during that time meant walking on the countryside, on the back roads, and sometimes no roads at all, with a backpack and a sleeping bag to sleep at the farm site, local village site, and sometime on the way. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmaster, lady and gentlemen, and distinguished guest, as this young man was passing through that province, he noticed that the entire area was barren and desert, and the top fertile soil of that area had washed away by rains. An old man told him that overcutting of trees had taken place in that area, and as there were no roots available to hold the soil erosion had also taken place. And now very little farming was done in small pockets of that province. The farmers were not able to get food, and as a result, they were weak and getting old. The farmers falling in the younger category had already gone to some other place in search of job to make their living. Even the wildlife had gone to another suitable place because there were no trees to give them shelter. That young man spent one night in that village with one shepherd in his hut. That shepherd served this young man from the bottom of his heart, and seeing at the hospitality and love and affection of the shepherd, young man decided to stay back for more number of days. And during his stay, the young man watched this shepherd in the evening hours sorting out nuts, pecans, hazelnuts, chestnuts by the left side. He would put them all in a row, examine them clearly, throw the bad ones and take the good ones into his oblong bag. And next day, when he went to lead his sheep for grazing, he would put all these nuts in various places and put the mud over it. When his sheep they were pasturing in one area, he would go to another area, and with the help of his stick, he would make a hollow hole in the earth and take out the nut and drop in that hole and cover that hole with his foot. He spent entire day hours in putting different kinds of nuts in different area of that province. Looking at this wonderful job which the shepherd was doing, this young man asked the shepherd, as as to what he was doing. I am planting the trees, young man. But why? You might not live to see this tree grow. The shepherd replied, I may not live long, but these trees will do some good to somebody someday. I may not see them grow, but my children will. The young man appreciated the foresight, the vision, and the unselfishness of that shepherd. And he said to himself that this shepherd is making this land for the next generation. Exactly around 20 years later, this young man in his 40s came to the same area again, and what he saw was completely surprised him, that the entire valley was covered with beautiful forest, having all kinds of trees over there, small trees, middle-sized trees, and even the tall trees. The grass was more greener, the shrubs and the bushes had grown all over, the wildlife had returned, and different kinds of birds were chirping the melodious song. It appeared as if the life had returned to that area once again. The soil was moist again, and the farmers were cultivating their fields. The visitor was very much amazed at the change he saw. The little farms were growing, many villages were regaining the lives. Beautiful trees, revived agriculture, renewed wildlife, and a lush of grass and shrubberies. The young man said to himself, what a change between now and 20 years ago. He met the same shepherd in his hut and came to know that a delegation from the French Parliament had recently visited this place from Paris, and the delegation was completely impressed by the work which was done by the shepherd while he watched his sheep along the entire area of that province. As a result, the entire valley was covered with beautiful forest today. The delegation went back to the Paris and strongly recommended a pension for this shepherd. At this point of time, the young man who had grown by now 40 years old appreciated and remembered the foresight, the vision, the unselfishness, the sacrifice which the shepherd had done day by day, day in and day out for a number of years. The story does not end over here. The shepherd did live to see the beautiful forest. The shepherd did live how he had succeeded changing his word. Over to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Viewing the gestures of the current speaker, wonderful gestures.